In this lesson, we're going to write our first program. We're going to start off real simple just by doing some arithmetic. So go into the Python IDLE, and how to get there, again, if you go down to your Start menu, scroll down to the P's, look for Python. Look for the newest version, in my case 3.8. If you have a newer version, again, that's perfectly okay. We're looking for the IDLE. Just click on that. It should bring you this. If you're on a Mac, go into your applications, look for the Python folder, and again, IDLE is what you're looking for. Now, this might look confusing. You don't know what any of this writing is. Perfectly okay. We're going to start off with something real simple. Everyone knows what a calculator is. Everyone's used a calculator. Python can act just like a calculator, and that's what we'll do. So we'll start off with just some really simple addition. 2 plus 2. And then just simply hit enter, and Python is going to execute that line of code. There you go. Shows 4. Python can do subtraction, so 2 minus. The minus symbol is in between the 0 and the plus equal button along the top there. Again, just hit enter. Python will execute that line of code. Python can do multiplication. Now you might think it's something like this. Again, hit enter. That's not the case. Now, this is our very first error. Now, don't worry, you're going to have a lot of errors. Even experienced programmers still have a lot of errors. Don't get frustrated by it. Python's going to try to help you out and tell you exactly where that error is. In this case, it just highlights it red, as you can see here. It's telling me that the syntax, so the multiplication symbol, is not correct. It's pretty simple to correct. Use the star symbol. Shares the button with the 8 along the top there. Again, hit enter. There you go. Gives you multiplication. It can do division. It's a / for division. Again, hit enter. When you divide and it's not, and you're going to have a remainder, it'll give you a decimal, or a float is what they call it in computer science. So that's normal division. You can also do floor division, and floor division, it just gets rid of the decimal or the fraction on your division. So if we do this again with floor division, you do 2 /. And as you can see, it got rid of the fraction or decimal on the end of that. All this can come in handy later on, you'll see. You can do to the power of something. That's 2 stars. Again, shares a button with the 8 along top there. There you go. You can also do remainder. So when you divide a number, if there's any remainder, if the number is not divided evenly, you're going to get a remainder. And it's called modulo. And it's the %, shares the button with number 5 along the top. And number 2. And it's remainder 1. So 2 goes in the 5. It's can't go into it evenly, but it can go into 4 evenly, and the remainder to get to 5 is 1, and that's what that means. So talking about spacing, so most of the time Python is not going to care about spacing. So if I'm going to do 2 plus 2, I can have spaces in between all this stuff. Python's not going to mind this. Still give you the answer. But if you do something, say something like floor division, and you're separating your operators, it will care. Gives us the syntax error again. So you'll learn to know what Python will ignore and what it will not ignore. Just take some practice, and as we go through it, it'll make sense. You can combine all of these symbols. So you can do addition, you can do subtraction, you can do multiplication, you can do division. All of it, just like a calculator. Oh, I have two symbols there, that's why I got an error. So let's try that again. 2 plus 2 minus 3 times 4 divided by 2. Let's see if that'll do it. Yep, there you go. Pretty simple. Again, your very first program, very first interaction with Python. It can act just like a calculator, and you will use this addition later on. It becomes useful. Python is much more powerful. It can do much more than a calculator. But just to get our feet wet and to get started, that's all it is. I will see you in the next lesson.